Transitions radio talk show with yours truly, Coach Latoya. Happy Saturday, y'all. Welcome to the show. I got to give a quick shout out to all of my listeners. Thank y'all so much for tuning in every week. Definitely appreciate the support, appreciate all of the feedback. So definitely thank y'all. Thank you to all my past guests too. Man, I've had some really cool people on the show, some dope folks. And again, if you've missed some of those shows, I have them on my site. I also have them on YouTube. So if you look up like transitions, type in the episode, and then you will see them there as well. So go back, listen to some of those shows. There's some good nuggets in there. I've talked to people that are transitioning all kinds of places, right? So go back and listen to those. But thank you again for supporting and listening. So today, y'all, I am so excited for our show today, okay? Because this woman right here, when I tell you she is every bit of an inspiration, a motivation, determined, every single thing that she puts her hands on, y'all, is going to explode. She's going to inspire you. She's going to motivate you, but she's going to show you how she's been getting the bags for a long time, y'all. So please help me welcome to the show, Miss Brandi Terrell. How you doing, Brandi?
Hey, girl. Hey.
This is my girl right here, y'all, for real. Oh my goodness. So Brandi is also a graduate of Florida A&M, also from the hometown, representing 352 for sure. So Brandi, give them a little bit about you. Give them some background on you.
Okay. Like you said, my name is Brandi Terrell. Most people who know me really well call me B. I am from Gainesville, Florida. Attended Florida A&M University for undergrad and Nova Southeastern University for graduate school. But yes, I am lots of different things, wear lots of many hats. A mother, of course, to two amazing children, son CJ, who is at Tuskegee, mechanical engineering major, and my daughter Carrington, who is a freshman in high school. So mother, entrepreneur, businesswoman,
yes.
Friend,
yes.
consultant, educator. Yes, many hats.
Awesome. So y'all, I want to really get into this conversation because Brandi has so many things that she can offer and definitely give to the audience, give to the listeners today. So I want to start with I've known Brandi for a long time. We're from the same hometown, but we also went to the same high school. I think that was the first time I met Brandi. But then we, also end up seeing her in college as well. But when I tell you in college, I don't know about y'all, but I mean, we was partying. I was doing all. I mean, I was getting my books. Don't get me wrong. I got in my books because I did graduate, right?
Oh, living it up.
I did graduate. However, let me tell you, Brandi became an entrepreneur in college. Now, maybe some of y'all out there, that's what y'all doing. Maybe y'all on that thing, but I wasn't, right? So, Brandi, please tell us how you're in school, you getting your books, you getting your grades, and you're like, okay, I'm about to start a business. Tell us about that.
So entrepreneurship runs in my family. So my dad had a business when I was very, very young. My mom, although she is an educator as well, she's an entrepreneur as well. She had a music business. So she was, playing for churches and, weddings and all these other things. And so kind of grew up in an entrepreneurship household. So I didn't realize that I had taken that on until we were in college. And I had a friend who reached out and was like, hey, I've been thinking about some business stuff. And so we just kind of brainstormed, shared ideas, and opened up an accessories and apparel boutique right off Adams Street. That was the first one. And then we also had one on Gaines. And so we just had this bright idea that we wanted to bring fashion, our own kind of twist, of course, to it. We were two Florida girls and we're just like, hey, we're just going to step into it. And we did it. So I was a junior in college. with a flourishing business right down the street from where we went to school.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was of course pre-internet,
Right. We
social
aging
media and
ourselves.
all
Hold on,
that.
Brandi. Don't tell them that.
So,
We aging ourselves.
so it was us grinding,
Yeah.
and taking
Yeah.
it from just one step to the next. So yes.
So being a student in school, so if there are students, because I know your son's in college right now, right? If he was like, hey, I want to start a business, I'm in school, what are some things that you wish you would have known, right? What are some things like being that young with this bright idea, you got ambition, you like, hey, I want to do this, but
Yeah.
like what's like one thing that could have definitely helped you in that transition to become an entrepreneur?
Technology, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the generation of all things tech. So if I had the opportunity to, with a push of a button, research and learn things about business, and just understanding the ins and outs, the basics, and how to operate a storefront, who knows where I would be to this day, right? So I would definitely say just, doing your research, making sure that you're using all the tech tools that are available to you, using them wisely,
Yes.
and making sure that they are working for you. So I would say technology would probably be the biggest thing. And just understanding that, we are in this age where, success happens overnight, it seems. But understanding that when you are a business owner, you are starting from the beginning, the late nights, the not knowing, what you want to do, tweaking things, making changes, but just sticking with it and just allowing your business to work for you in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love that. So, all right. So we started this business in college, but it didn't end there, right? Tell us like how your entrepreneurship journey went from there.
Okay. So I had a storefront one and then opened a second location. And then the internet era came. And so we were just like, okay, how do we transition? We didn't know, how to do that at that time. So ended up selling everything, all the merchandise, trying to take the step into moving to the internet and having a website, and all that jazz. And that was hard because there was not a guide. There wasn't a book to read to show you how to do that, how to operate a business online. And so there were some hiccups just trying to work those things out and figure those things out. But over time, tapping into your network, reaching out to people who know more than you and who have more resources than you do, and allowing those people to kind of help you and walk you through. Everybody should have a mentor. If you are in business, you should have a mentor. You should surround yourself around people who know 10 times more than you know.
Yes.
So that you are not doing everything on your own, so that you're not struggling, because you have that group of people that you can reach out to get those answers. But yeah, so that was kind of the basics of the beginning, moving into having an online presence, and then kind of transitioning into my career that I actually went to school for, and trying to juggle, having multiple businesses. So that's how I kind of moved into consulting, because I wanted to be a resource for other people, so that those who were coming behind me didn't have some of those same hiccups that I had.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so you said a lot there for sure. But I mean, good stuff, right? Because I think people don't understand when, back in, a few years ago when businesses were forming and that sort of thing, we didn't have Google to be like, all right, hey, let's go look this up. So, there was definitely some challenges there. And so, went from storefront, tried to figure out the website thing, went into consulting. Tell me about that part of it, because that's still not the end, y'all. She's doing all kinds of stuff, but you go into consulting, right? So now you're helping people, right? Tell me about that.
So just kind of, I'm always thinking of different things. So I journal a lot. And so if I don't write it down, I tend to forget. So that's where journaling comes in for me. And so I just was writing some things down, and I was like, okay, these are gems that I want to share with other people. And so I believe in doing things the right way. So I started a consulting business. I did all of the legwork to be legal and to have a functioning, business. And so once I started to do that, I just started to share information with people for free. because initially I just wanted to do it so that if a contract came or if a large opportunity or bigger opportunity came, that was fine. But initially, I just wanted to get the information out because I knew so many people who were operating businesses and they were not functioning legally. They didn't know the ins and outs of how to start a business, how to get registered, how to open a business bank account, and those types of things. So initially, I started just, online presence with Instagram, doing some YouTube videos, short, just kind of, here are 3 tools or tips that you can use to, leverage your business or start your business. Just kind of started with that. And then the online presence just kind of took over. And then I started to, get, consulting contracts, and things of that nature. So it just kind of worked itself out and just, one thing led to the next. And so here I am with Be Queen Consulting.
Yeah. And I don't utilize them services too. Okay. So she knows what she is talking about. Can I go back real quick? Just could you give 2 or 3 things to people that's getting started? Because I know it's people out there who think because they don't went on irs.gov and they have an EIN number, they think they in business. Okay. So can you just give them a couple things that's going to make their business legit and legal? Just, give them a little something.
So I would say the first thing, of course, is to make sure that no one has your business name. Because if you go to the IRS and that's where you start and you have the business name that somebody else has, now people have to try to decipher between who is who. So always research, check to see if someone has that name. You might have to tweak it a little bit to make it fit you and what you're offering, whatever services you're providing. So do that first. Once you have your name locked in and all of your concepts behind whatever it is that you're, promoting or selling, then check with your local government. So that will be like your county or your state. Get registered with them first, and then go to the IRS and get registered with them. Get your EIN. Because people who are going to do business with you, if they are legal businesses, they're going to check. So you want to just make sure that you are registered with all the government official agencies that you need to be registered with. And then go ahead and put your presence out there. Establish social media, whether that be Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, whatever your niche is going to be. Start with one. And then once you kind of have that, under your belt and you feel comfortable with it, then start tapping into some of the others. That's what I would say kind of start with. And now that we have AI, I would say kind of tap into it, kind of navigate yourself around and kind of get comfortable and see what tools out there work for you, because it doesn't make sense to reinvent the wheel. If it's already done and it's already available to you, then use some of those tools as well.
Yes. Okay. Because I'm just saying, I know people that, definitely make assumptions. And then I love that you said, hey, get the business stuff taken care of first. Because a lot of times people like to jump out and they done started a whole Instagram page and they trying to sell stuff.
And they're not even legit.
Yeah. And they haven't done anything on the legal side to actually incorporate the business and all of that. So y'all could do this stuff while you're still thinking about what you want that business to be, right?
Yes.
And so that's, definitely love that. All right. So we've hit this. We've gone to consulting. What was after consulting?
So after consulting, while consulting, operating businesses, I'm also an educator. So I started out in education. My degree is in criminal justice. So that's another story for a different day.
Yeah.
But I started out in education and then moved into administration and then also into consulting. So I also do educational consulting as well.
Okay.
But I have an online boutique. I love fashion. I love all things, hair and makeup and clothing and styling. So I do have an online boutique as well. It is shopwithbeequeen.com. Where I sell women's apparel, accessories, hair, and all of those things as well. So so went from consulting to having an online boutique where, I hope I'm able to, share some of the things that I love to do with, my customers and my followers as well. So
yeah. And she being like real polite about this, y'all. This this online boutique is the bomb. Okay, it is fire. I don't know how many pieces I have. I got plenty of pieces, and look, and my sister probably got all your stuff, girl.
She does.
She be on
She
your
has
site like
everything.
she have all. I'm like, where you get that from? Oh, shot with Be Queen. Okay, all right.
Yes.
So and so this boutique is not new. She has had this. It is a very
At the time.
successful online boutique.
Mm,
And what she's not telling you is that she has helped people start online boutiques as well.
yes.
So
Hmm.
she being modest here, and I'm like, so she does that as well. So I know that's part of her consulting and all that, but she wants to help people, y'all. So be sure that you are following her. Go to Shop with Be Queen for sure, and
Hmm.
grab you some stuff. So uh, serial entrepreneurs, I mean, because you got all kinds of stuff here. Tell us about anyone transitioning into entrepreneurship today, right?
Hmm.
Anyone interested in online present stuff, right? So just having not necessarily a website, or maybe a website and social media.
Hmm.
What are give me just a few things that they could do.
Okay. So I know that I talked about the storefront. I know I talked about consulting. I know I talked about the online boutique as well. But yes, I have helped others establish their own businesses. So I have had a trucking company. I've had a small car dealership. I have done so many things. But because of those experiences, I have several different frames of reference. So, just able to support people who are stepping into entrepreneurship for the first time. I'm a firm believer that if you have a career, allow your career to fund your business until your business can fund your lifestyle. And so I've done that for quite some time. So if you are a person who is stepping into entrepreneurship and you are just trying to figure things out and you are currently employed, you have to do that job first because that's who pays you. So do that first, and then you have to set aside some time every single day, uninterrupted time, where you are focused solely on your business. I don't know if you can spare 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you can spare every day, because every day will just lead to a little bit, by a little bit getting done so that you can be, more and more successful. So setting some time aside, of course, always research. There's so many videos and so many resources that are out there to kind of help you along the way. If you're looking for a consultant, of course, reach out. But just having a plan, not just, having all these different thoughts going around in your head, because that's not going to help you. Just making sure that you have some sort of roadmap or sort of, a plan. We can talk about business plans later because that's a little bit deep. But just kind of knowing what you want and where you're going and how you plan on getting there. And again, making sure that you're, reaching out to someone who's already done what you want to do, so that you have a mentor, so that you have somebody that you can, reach out to, contact, lean on, and just kind of get some additional business support from.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Also, what about people who need money? Because we need
Oh,
money to run businesses, Brandi. We
yeah.
need
Yes, yes, yes.
funds. So what are you
Mhm.
telling people? How are they? How can they go about getting some funds for their businesses or things they can do?
So if you are, already working and you're, using that money to help fund the business idea that you have, just making sure that you're saving a little bit of that so that you can put that money to the side to help to fund your business. If you need more funding, you have to make sure that your personal credit is in line so that if you have the, idea or you want to go ahead and reach out to get some business support on a banking level or funding level, you've got to make sure your personal stuff is in line first, because a lot of times they're going to, look into your personal credit history to see if they will support your business ideas. So making sure that your personal credit is in line, and then, looking into the steps to go ahead and get your business credit established as well, so that you can, reach out to some funding sources, whether that be grants, loans from a bank or a small business association, whatever your niche is. Of course, you want to research to see what funding opportunities are out there.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's important. to, for people to understand, right? Because most people go into business or create businesses either because they have a passion or because they
Right.
want to earn extra money, right? They want to create multiple streams of
Absolutely.
income.
Hmm.
However, sometimes it takes money to do that. And we don't
Absolutely.
always have that. So I love that you said, one, work on your personal credit, y'all.
Hmm.
Because that's showing that's giving you clout and credibility
Yep.
based on them just looking at you and how you operate with your own money, right?
Hmm. Absolutely.
So thank you for saying that. And then there's tons of like grants and programs out there that you can apply for.
Yep.
However, a lot of them, like Brandi was saying, they're asking for a lot of information. They're probably going to
Hmm.
want to see a business plan. I know Brandi can go deep into that as well. Have you done market research? Do you know who your competitors are? All that stuff goes
Right.
into
Exactly.
your business plan. But
Mhm.
you gotta be ready to have those conversations.
Yeah.
So it's cool to want to have a business and want to make extra money, but a lot of times before people give you money, they got to know that you're for real, you're
Yep.
serious, you've done the
Hmm.
legwork behind it. And then you've also worked on yourself, right? And you've done some things for you. So I
Yes.
appreciate you sharing those things and sharing just tips here and there with folks trying to jump into a business. So we are going to take a quick break. Y'all listen to a little bit of music and we will be right back. Welcome back to Life Transitions Radio Talk Show. Yours truly, Coach Latoya, here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. This broadcast is being brought to you by Shop with Be Queen, an online boutique for fashion, beauty, and business. Boutique style products are limited to keep your style unique and one of a kind. Visit them at shopwithbequeen.com and Shop with Be Queen on Instagram. All right. And I got Shop with Be Queen right here with me this time, y'all. So see, y'all been hearing about Shop with Be Queen, and I brought yours truly right here with us. So thank you for being a sponsor of the show. Absolutely. So
Thank you for having
appreciate
me.
that. So let's talk about this education piece because this is a passion of yours, right? This
Hmm.
is something that you definitely love to do. You're inspiring
Hmm.
others. So, how did you get into educating in this whole sector?
Okay. So my degree is in criminal justice. So my initial plan for my life was to become an attorney and, go to law school and practice juvenile law. And so I had completed an internship and just decided this is not going to work. This is not where my life is going. And so I worked for the Department of Juvenile Justice. So I was a juvenile probation officer for a little bit. And then I also worked for the Florida Department of Corrections. And I just decided I want to make an impact in the lives of young people, but this is not it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I actually started to substitute teach. And that's when I found out elementary was not my thing. That I was that
Why you
I
don't want to work with them kids?
they were crying and I need to tie their shoes, and I was like, can I do it? So I subbed at the middle and high school level, and I absolutely loved it. I
Okay.
connected with the students so well, and I was like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
So I started teaching in South Florida, so Broward County. Taught at Pines Middle School for several years before moving to Atlanta. And then I worked in Atlanta public schools for quite some time, taught middle school science, language arts, social studies, worked in Fulton County for a little bit as well. I taught the Law and Justice program and several student led organizations I sponsored. Cheerleading, the whole bit,
Yeah.
you have to do it all. And I had several principals who kept nudging me, saying, like, hey, we see something in you. Are you sure you don't want to be an assistant principal? And I'm like, no, I feel like my greatest impact is
Mm-hmm.
in the
In the
classroom.
classroom. Yeah.
And I had one who pulled me aside one day and we had a very long conversation. And she said, you have it all wrong. She said, because when you are in leadership and an administrator, you're impacting even more lives because now you're managing and you're supervising the teachers who are then impacting the lives in the classroom. And so I said, okay, that makes sense. And so I did. I was in administration for quite some time. Did discipline, did testing, all the things. admin and, in high school. And after COVID, I kind of felt a little bit, a little burnt out. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, need a break. Education is shifting, it's changing. Um, the students were the same, but the parents were a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's harder when you don't have the full parental support to
Yeah.
do what you need to do to educate a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
It almost becomes impossible. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's when I said, okay, let me look at consulting. Let me see if I'm able to, use my tool set that I've acquired over all these years, and see if I can make a difference that way.
Yeah.
And so I did. I started to, mentor teachers, go into schools and provide professional development for new teachers. And that's where I saw the greatest struggle was, because a
Yeah.
lot of them were coming, straight from college. They knew pedagogy, but they did not know how to manage a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where most of them struggled. And so that was one of my strengths. Never had discipline issues in a classroom ever.
Wow.
So I knew that that was where, my purpose was. And so I did that, a couple contracts with different schools. And that is where I think I make the most, impact at this point. It's going into schools, turnaround schools that need support, that need professional development, to kind of support their teachers who are struggling,
Yeah.
so that students can be successful.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I am now as far as, my educational career is concerned.
Yeah. That's a
Mhm.
cool journey even, right? Because you're thinking, hey, I need to be in the classroom. But I understand with the younger kids, right? You said the elementary school kids, you couldn't,
Woo.
that wasn't
Yeah.
your ministry. That
No,
wasn't
no, 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 no.
okay. All right, all right. I understand. I mean, I still don't understand. I don't know how well I would do with kids every day. That's almost like
Mhm.
I give praises to the teachers because
It's hard.
it is hard.
I'm
And
like, by the time you come to me, you need to know how to read and write. You need to know how to tie your shoes, blow your own nose, go to the restroom on your own. I don't want to do none of that. So, yeah, it's definitely hard. Teachers have us at
yeah.
home.
So hold on. You said something there that I have never heard any teacher say, especially dealing with middle and high school students. You've never
Mm,
had any disciplinary, like any
no,
issues in the
no.
what's the secret? Like what is it? I mean, what you in there? Like what I mean, what
I tell people all the time, if you ask any student who's ever had me, they will tell you they couldn't stand me when they first came to my class. I was so mean, I was so strict, but I had a policy and a procedure in my class for everything. And that was understood from day one. There
Mm,
was a way to sharpen your pencil. There was a time to sharpen your pencil. There was a way to, ask to get out of your seat. There was a time to get out of your seat. And so a lot of the misbehaviors that a lot of, teachers or educators have in the classroom is because there's no procedure in place. And
mhm.
so it's just a free for all. They get up and go when they want to. They, are interrupting the teacher when they want to. And so, having rules and procedures in your classroom is important. But the biggest one of all is that
Mm,
rapport. They knew I was tough. They knew I was strict. They knew there was a rule for everything, but they also knew that I cared. And
mm,
so when students know that you care, they will go to bat for you.
mhm.
And so I never had fights in my classroom, never really had disrespect, but I never took things personal.
Yeah.
Even if there was a situation in class where I had to redirect a student or, call somebody out for doing something that they knew they weren't supposed to do, I didn't hold on to that. The
Yeah.
next day it was over.
Yeah.
I didn't take things personal. And so when you take things personal with kids, you're gonna always have a tough time. They're kids.
Yeah.
You got to be the adult. So yeah,
Yes.
definitely a positive rapport makes a difference as well.
After that's good. That's good. I guess it's really just like when you're building new relationships with anybody, right? You got to build that rapport, you got to build
Yep.
that trust, right? They got to trust you, you got to trust
Yep.
them. Um,
Yep.
so I guess it's the same way when you're in the classroom.
Hmm.
Okay, so new teachers out there, I hope, or new educators, I hope this has been helpful. Get some policies and procedures in place and let them raise their hand and sharpen them pencils when it's time, right?
Because we don't deal with chaos. We don't do that.
Yeah,
No, 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 no.
I
No.
love it. Okay. So anything else you want to share with them from an educator standpoint before we Anything?
Yes. I
Okay.
think that, sometimes what's missing is, there's no support.
Oh.
Sometimes parents don't know what to do.
Mm.
They don't know what options they have. They don't have a guide or, something to look at, a roadmap to show them, how to
Yeah.
be successful.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times teachers can do what they can in the classroom, but it's up to parents to reach out and see what tools, are out there.
Yeah.
Which leads me to your 7-step transitions, which is a tool that my own son has used. And so I
Mhm.
think that we are now in a time where just having a high school diploma is not going to cut it. We
Yeah.
have to push them into getting a trade, going to college, or some alternative, diploma or degree or something, some sort of skill set, because we're in a time where there are not as many jobs
Yeah.
available if
Yeah.
you only have a high school diploma. So
Yeah.
we have to encourage them, to go a step further. And when parents don't know what to do, they have to find the resources. They have to look
Mm.
out there for those tools and, the things that are available to them to help support them in parenthood. So,
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right. So you also do other things, right? I know this, it sounds
mhm.
like, it's a lot going on.
They're like, what else does she do?
But please tell them about is it a nonprofit
Yes,
organization? Yeah,
nonprofit.
the
Mhm.
nonprofit organization.
So I also have a nonprofit organization. It's called Be a Blessing. And Be a Blessing basically is a nonprofit. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and also provide training for specifically youth of color. But all youth who come to us and are in need of different types of empowerment, resources and tools, training. We also do job training, support with resume writing, those types of things as well. I do have an annual event every year. It's called Pamper Me Pink, where we select 50 young girls between the ages of 6 to 17. And we all get together on one Saturday and we have lots of fun with like team building activities, games, networking, crafts, and all types of things, the giveaways and all that jazz. And it's July 6th this year, July 6th, in Gainesville, Florida, which is where we are from. And
Yes.
so that is just one of the ways that I want to give back. So I know that for me coming up, I had a lot of support, a lot of people in the community who encouraged me and just were there for me to help me through my journey into adulthood. And that kind of has gotten away from us. Community is not so close knit anymore in some places. And so, that's my way of going back, reaching out to the community, going in and talking to the young girls, and just trying to empower them and give them the tools that they need to be successful, not just on July 6th, but just, for life. So that's a little bit about Pamper Me Pink as well.
Yeah. So I love the part here that gets me is, yes, we're from the same hometown, and a lot of times they don't see people that were once in their shoes, right? Because we were
Right.
once there. We were
Yep.
once right there in them same
Mhm.
hallways at Duval and
Yep.
all
Yep.
of,
Yep. Yep.
we were right there,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so I think it's important for them to see that we were there and these are the things that we've been able to accomplish. So for
Absolutely.
folks that are out there that has had any type of success in life, right? Whether, it could be even small things that you've accomplished and able to go back. The youth, they need to see you. They need to see you. They need to hear
Absolutely.
from you,
Mhm.
because that is an inspiration to them. For them to just even think and imagine, like, oh wow, you were at this same school, right?
Mhm.
Or actually walk these same streets
Right.
as us, because I know their parents take them to school, but sometimes we had to walk, and so
Exactly.
we had to find another way there.
That's right.
But
Sure did.
but I think it's so important that we pay it forward, because we were lucky enough to have people there for us, right? That were putting on programs and that sort of thing. And I think with the new world of social media and online presence, we
Mhm.
lose a lot of that face-to-face stuff.
Yeah.
we lose a lot of that in-person workshops. Those community centers used to be
Mhm.
packed. I mean, you know,
Yes, Boys and Girls Club used to be.
yes, like used to be packed. And then now it's like, oh, well, they're doing this or they're doing that or whatever. So, anyone out there, no matter where you're from, if you have anything that you can share with youth, I think this is, you don't have to put on a whole Pamper Me Pink, but feel free to give back,
Yeah.
and give the youth something to look forward to, give them a look into your journey and kind of how you got to where you were. So I'm gonna ask this question because I know you get it, and I don't know what you're telling the people, but what about the little boys? What we do with the
I
little
get that
boys?
every year. I get that every year. So I do have a couple of guys who are from our hometown who, have said, okay, this year we're going to do something. So, boys, they need it too. They also need to be celebrated and encouraged and motivated. And also to see people who look like them, who come from the same places that they come from,
Mhm.
to see them in the light of success,
Yeah.
because a lot of times they only see them on television, on social media. So being able to put a face with a name and just, that reach, to have some of those conversations, I think it's needed. So yeah, it's coming. It's in the works.
Yeah, good, good. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Either related to the nonprofit? How can people donate to the nonprofit and support the Pamper Me Pink event?
Okay. Nonprofit is beablessinginc.org. So we do have a website, and there are ways to donate on the website. So if you're interested in donating any items for the event, we are in need of sanitary products, health and beauty, hair products, all things girl. There is a way to donate any of those items, or if you would like to sponsor, there are also ways to do that on the website as well. So, or if you just want information to see, what we're doing, or you are interested in starting your own nonprofit, that would also be a resource for you. And feel free to reach out to me. I'm on social media. Shop with Bee Queen, ShopWithBeequeen.com. But also on social media, Snapchat, TikTok, all things social media. I am there. So reach out.
Yes, thank you, thank you so much. So, you've heard it from the one and only, y'all. I mean, she's got a lot of things going on, and she kind of slid it in there right at the end, but you hear that she's also helping people start nonprofits. So, that's on her site. So I just think that she has this heart to help people, and if there's anyone out there that wants to learn more about those services or anything, this is the person to call right here, because she wants to help you. She wants to see people be successful.
Uh, Latoya, you're forgetting that all the things that I have done, you have pretty much done as well. So you too are a great resource. I mean, being on your show, when I first saw you announce it, I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is huge. This is major. And I'm so, 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 so proud to be able to call you my friend. You have done so many great things. I know the show isn't about you, but I have to shout you out because I also watch you as well. And you also encourage me as well because I'm watching you like, okay, transition from, school of business and then, going here and being, successful career woman on your job and then saying, okay, I'm about to open up a spa. And I'm like, spa for girls? Okay. Who thought of that? And then now I'll be on show along with the many, many, many other things that you have done. Awesome, awesome job.
Thank
So, so
you.
proud of you.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you. Thank you.
welcome.
Yes, I appreciate that. Yes, and honestly, that's how this show started. It was about going through all these transitions in life, right? And people feeling as if they were in it on their own. And as I engage with more and more people, I realized like, yo, we really out here living the same life. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we have
Exactly.
way more things in common than we are
Yes.
different. And that's really why I wanted to showcase all these different people, because I'm like, everybody has gone through something. And
Right.
everybody has challenges and adversities and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
obstacles that they have to get through. And it's so refreshing to hear that someone else has done it,
Right.
someone else has done it successfully, right?
Right. Somebody can help you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that you're not by yourself. So that's the
Right.
reason why I call this show Life Transitions, because it really is
Wow.
helping people going through the transitions in life,
Yes.
right? And not being afraid to take that leap to become an entrepreneur, right?
Wow.
Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to change careers, right? You were
Right.
interested in,
Exactly.
you even went to school for criminal justice, and then
Okay.
you like, this is not for me.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
But I mean, I think it's so important for people to see that, because I'm sorry, but social media a lot of times puts up a front. I always tell people,
Yes.
I'm like, I don't believe nothing on social media, because if I know you in real life, I'm like, now you know that.
That part.
So
Right.
you have to be careful with what you see on social media. And a lot of times people aren't posting the negative things. People don't
Right.
post when they done lost a job or got fired from a job, but
Exactly.
they gonna post when they get a job or when they
Right.
get a promotion. And so I always
Absolutely.
tell people that you have to take that with a grain of salt,
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, we all going through stuff. We
Absolutely.
all going through stuff, and a lot of times it's not on Front Street and it's not
Hmm.
on the front page.
Right.
However, there are still people that are going through some of the same things that you are.
Of
So
course.
that's
Yeah.
that's kind of how I got here, right? That's kind of
Wow.
how I created this
I
show
love
and
it.
created the name of it, and how I chose people to be on the show, because they all had something to share with
Hmm.
a transition that they have been through. So, and transition is my word. That's like
It
my
is. Yes.
that is
It
my
is.
word, because
It
I'm just
is.
like, if you're not transitioning, you can't be your same self, right?
Absolutely.
You
You're
gotta
not
keep
growing.
you gotta
Yeah.
keep it moving. You
That's
got
right.
to keep transitioning and evolving and becoming,
Mhm.
a better person, every single day, even if it's
I
just
agree.
right, even if
Right.
it's not for some, even if it's just for you. So
Right.
that's my word. But thank
You're
you
so
for
welcome. Thank you.
sharing that, and thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Sure. I mean, with the people that you've had on the show already, I'm like, wow, you've interviewed some amazing people.
Yeah, I've had some
Honey,
good
thank you.
stories. Some good stories. And different transitions. I had
Mhm.
the wife to widow one. We got a lot of feedback from that one, with her going, I mean, in her 40s, to become a widow, right? And that's like a different one, and a lot of people feel like they go through that on their own, and it's so many people out
Mm,
here, kind of experiencing
yep.
that. So that was one that was, definitely a little different. And then I had a guy on talking about dead to silence and suicide prevention, right? And just trying to help prevent suicides. And so it's been, I've had a chance to really, talk to people that have gone through some things and sharing some really cool stories that other
Mhm.
people can relate to. And
Right.
that's my whole point and purpose,
Yep.
honestly.
Yep.
So yeah. So thank you. Thank you all for listening today. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday, rest of your weekend, y'all. It's
Yes.
almost summer. It's almost summer, so I hope y'all getting
Can't
it
wait.
together. Get it together here. But thank you all again. Thank you, Brandi, for being on the show today. Please
Thank you for
go
having me.
out and support Shop with Bee Queen,
Yes.
Bee Queen Consulting,
Yes.
and Pamper Me Pink,
Hmm.
nonprofit organization as well. So
Yes.
thank you. We are WDRB Media, the voice of the community. I am your host, Coach Latoya, and we will see you next week, y'all.
Thank you.